Hello and welcome back to my Planet Coaster video series. So today I'm going to be continuing with the building around the coaster station, specifically covering in the pathway. I'm using the trick here of, well, it's not really a trick, but using the feature of starting a new building which you can then start at a different angle. So I'm trying to line up the area next to the pathway so I can make sure that it fits around correctly. I'm going to start off with the full-size pieces, and then as I started to move around I noticed that the windows were sinking into the ground. Couldn't quite work out what was going on to start with, so I tried to use the terrain tools to flatten the area out, just trying to get it all to fit in nicely. And in the end I stopped the video, or stopped recording rather, and played around with it for ages until I realised that it wasn't going to fit, because I'd actually used these half pieces on the station, and that's why it was too low. So that's actually been built now without recording, so sorry for that. You'll see once I zoom out in a minute that the wall does go around and the windows are slightly higher. So I made it double level, just like I did with the station. Added some buildings on the top and then tried an archway, just to, you know I like my archways, I've tried them pretty much everywhere. And then in the end I realised that the pathway wasn't quite working, being connected up to the ticket booth or the entrance, so played around with that a little bit just to get it to fit better. And then continued with the building. Again, I keep forgetting about those half wall pieces. So I did manage to get one of the archways in the end, and then moving on with the half wall pieces. Went with a single window on that side, and then finished the building off. So I did try to move it a little bit because I was really struggling with that join just there, and I couldn't get it perfect, which is unfortunate. I think in hindsight, if I'd realised that at the beginning, I might have been able to raise the pieces up slightly and had it more in line. But it's not too far off, and it doesn't actually doesn't look that bad. So I was just putting the roofing pieces in there just to check how high it would be and if it would be a problem. And then went back to adding the window pieces. I didn't want this end section to have any windows on it, because I was planning on putting some of the scenery pieces there just to give the guests something to look at as they wandered around. And then I noticed now that my walling was not correct for the roofing to fit, so I'm trying to move that section around, trying to get it to work properly. Realised then that I didn't need the half a window section after all, because using these bits will make it fit close enough. Still not perfect when it joins on to the other building at this section though. But as I say, at the time, this was actually the very first time I tried to attach two buildings together, which were not the same grid. And you can see the very slight difference in height on that section, but it's not too bad once I get the battlement sections onto the top. I do like the battlement sections, and I also like these little raised roofing pieces as well, just to give it a bit more pop, so not so much of a flat surface. here I go with the wall pieces now. Did I manage to get those ones in? Yeah. So it kind of works. I mean, it's not perfect. But I was at the point now that without having to completely redo it from scratch, I figured it would be good enough. Nobody's going to notice. I mean, it's not like anybody's going to see this video. So continuing these raised roof or end of roof sections, just put them all the way around, matching the kind of same theme that I've used on the castle and on the station building. And then back to my the trusty windows. Weirdly, I enjoyed doing these windows. It seems like I think it's just the fact that you could copy them and just drag them around using these precise tools. It's nice and easy to do. There doesn't seem to be any window sections though that fit into the curved windows, or at least not any that fit perfectly. I noticed there as well that the window section, they are different on the two sides. So one of them has this like slightly raised section and the other one's pretty flat. So I've no idea if there's any of these windows on other sections that I've put the wrong way round, but I'm not going to go back and check. Well, at least not on a video. So once I got all those ones lined up, I realised that I hadn't finished them on the previous building. So I don't know if any of you noticed that and was unhappy about it, leaving things unfinished. But I've noticed now, so going back and adding those bits in. And the old trusty copy. Trying to get it so that I can place them inside, but it's weird because it's on the grid. It doesn't allow you to just flip them around and put them exactly where you want them. But at least you can then copy and move them down inside, so it doesn't take too long to go around and resolve that. It's probably kind of unnecessary to do this. It didn't look too bad as it was. But because I'd started, I had to go and finish them all. And then I had to go and do the other building as well. So yeah, this is some thrilling window placement here. I wonder if you enjoyed watching me place those as much as I did placing them in the first place. Feel free to let me know in the comments. Feel free to let me know any suggestions as well if you think I could have done much better than that, or why didn't you put this here, or why didn't you do that. It'd be nice to hear from you. So then I decided to play around with the painting tools to see if I could make this this section look more like stone or tarmac, I guess. So I was trying the rock paint tool, but it didn't really look right. I gave the sandy one a go, and that didn't look right either. I tried some of the roofing pieces, but because of the level of the building, that didn't work, so I had to leave that as grass in the end. So put the lights up on the roof, just like I did in the other building. A few more lanterns around on the inside, on the outside, and and then I was trying a couple of these bamboo lights, and then I tried these lights, and I had the idea to sink them down in between the railings in my snaking path, and I did like this. Yeah, I think they look really good, but then I noticed that again, because of the angle of the terrain, they were at weird angles. It looked like they were raising up, so I went back and used the precision tools to change the angle, which is really good. I'm pleased they added that. So then, even though the terrain's on an angle, I think I managed to get those all on the same height. Yeah, get them all lined up, so they look a bit more natural. Added a couple over on this section as well. Let's pop through the roof there. And using the rotation tool again to line these ones up. As that when you press escape, sometimes it removes the piece that you would just place in. I do that all of the time, and it's frustrating every single time, but it only takes a minute to put it back. The amount of times I've then pressed Ctrl Z though, thinking I can undo that, and ended up undoing another one. That's also slightly annoying. So yeah, I thought then I'd give these little animatronic men a go in here as well, because I have used a couple in the castle. So I think I end up having a guard over in this corner. I'm pretty sure I don't use any of the shooting ones, because I don't think that would be right. I had a look in the station area to see if we could fit one in there, but one wouldn't quite work, so I decided to put two outside the entrance, so like they're guarding this building, and then having a little look through all of the other wall signs, decorations, scenery bits that are available to see what else can be done. So I decided to put this door section on, and I did line it up. There you go. So it looks like there is another way into this building. Contemplated an air conditioning unit, but decided against that one. I like these little grates there to make it look like there's a basement or a dungeon maybe underneath. And one of those scaffolding units, which I finally placed one. Flag on top as well, which was something that I was looking to do on the castle originally, but didn't go with. I placed a few rings around, I'm not really sure why. And then some of these I did try the band in this section, but again, this isn't supposed to be the pirate area, so I decided against that. So I tried some of these barrels out, which worked quite nicely actually. I like the way they stack. They look quite good, stacked up in the corners there. Thought about a well, but no, it didn't work either. A few ammunition provisions for the, if I can say that properly, for the soldiers. Makes sense in this area. And a couple more barrels underneath the stairs, which I think looks quite good. And yeah, it's getting dark now, so you can see this area lit up, which I think looks nice. I do like the glow of these lamps, especially for this theme. A couple more guards. An upside down boat. Did I leave that there? Okay, I did apparently. Now at the moment that upside down boat doesn't really make any sense, which is interesting, because obviously I had an idea that I didn't realise I'd had at that stage. So I did go back to these bamboo lights because I thought it was a bit dark in certain areas. I went around and put a few more of those. Some fruit and veg. Can't go wrong with a bit of fruit and veg. And then I thought I would use some of the scenery, nature scenery, some of the rocks and vegetation. A couple of trees. I think the sun is going to come back up again in a minute, so it should make it easier to see what's going on here. There we go. That campfire, or that camp place rather. Again, another piece of scenery that I like the look of, but didn't really work around this area, so I'm sure I will make use of it somewhere else. Thinking about this retrospectively, I probably could have used the terrain tools to raise this up instead of just placing rocks around, but for some reason the thought didn't cross my mind at the time. But for now, that's where I leave it, so thank you for watching. See you next time.